Carrying a concealed weapon in public is permitted in 49 out of the 50 U.S. states. Illinois and Washington, D.C. do not allow concealed handgun carry unless you're active or retired law enforcement officials. There are two different laws that are taken into effect when getting a concealed handgun permit, a shall issue and a may issue law. By the end of this speech, I want my audience to agree with me that all 50 states should allow concealed handgun carry under the may issue law. I'm Larry Craig, and as a member of the United States military, a gun owner, and a concealed handgun carrier, I'm here to talk to you about the may issue law as it pertains to acquiring a concealed handgun license. Let's start with a less restrictive law, the shall issue law. Typical requirements for getting a concealed handgun carrying permit under a shall issue law state is usually residency, minimum age, submitting fingerprints, passing a computerized background check, attending a safety class, and paying a fee to the courts. Some states that are in effect that have shall issue law are Alaska, Colorado, Idaho, Ohio, and Washington. Shall issue laws are usually argued about crime rates. People say that it's easier to get a permit, so more people own guns, and it increases the crime rate because more people are walking around with weapons. This could be true, and I think it is. A lot of states, some of the shall issue states, don't even require the safety class. They just have you go to the court, pay the fee, fingerprint, get a background check, and they mail you the permit in the mail. There's no formal gun training or use of force or decision making involved when getting the permit. Now that you have an understanding of the shall issue law, it will make it easier for you to agree with me that the may issue law is a safer and more logical choice. The requirements to getting a may issue or a permit under a state that uses the may issue law are really the same as the shall issue. You still have to have residency requirements, there's a minimum age, submitting fingerprints, doing the computerized background, taking the safety class, and paying the required fee to the courts. However, under may issue, the person applying for the permit has to state to the courts or to the local police authorities in formal documentation as to why they think they should be allowed to have a permit to carry a concealed weapon. An effective state example would be New Jersey. The may issue law will reduce crime rates. If people are walking around with guns all the time and not making wise decisions, things could go bad. However, when people are properly trained and the courts make wise decisions on who gets permits, murder rates have been shown to decline 3%, rape 2%, and violent robberies over 2%. More people that are properly trained to carry will deter criminals. So if you're in a state with a may issue law and you can acquire the permit, take the safe course, and these people walking around safely trained and properly trained in the use of force and handling that weapon, the criminals in that state are going to be more selective or more unselective or to what they're going to do. They're not going to come at anybody because they don't know their background or what they have. Now that you have an understanding of the may issue law, you can see it is a better choice for concealed handgun carriers and lawmakers. Carrying a concealed handgun is a right for any American. However, there are many laws and many decisions and logical thinking that Americans need to think about when carrying a weapon. It's not just something to have and something to walk around with. You need to be able to make a wise decision and a proper choice, and sometimes you don't always have time to do so. The best bet would be not to do anything at that point, because you might get yourself in trouble. Two different laws make getting a permit to carry easier in some states than others. States that have the shall issue law make it much easier. States that have the may issue law, it's not impossible to get, but it's a lot tougher. The focus of this speech is not to ban gun laws, but to make the process of acquiring a permit more effective and more selective between the shall and the may issue laws, and to make the streets safer for those carrying weapons legally in those carrying weapons who are not carrying them in a legal manner.